Good morning, everyone. Dreamers, fighters, conquerors, thank you for being here today. I look around this room and I see something incredible. I see people who are ready to dream big, ready to fight for those dreams, and ready to conquer anything that stands in their way. I see people who have a fire inside them, a fire that's been waiting to blaze, a fire that's ready to light up the world. And I'm here to tell you something that's gonna set your soul on fire. Your journey to greatness follows 3 simple steps: dream, struggle, conquer. Today, we're gonna walk through that journey together. And I promise you, by the end of this, you'll be ready to dream bigger, fight harder, and conquer everything. Let's break it down. Dream, struggle, conquer. These 3 words aren't just a catchy phrase. They're a roadmap to success. They're the path that every great person in history has walked. The path that you're walking right now. The path that will lead you to the life you've always wanted. And the best part, you don't have to be a superhero to follow this path. You just have to be willing to dream, willing to struggle, and willing to conquer. Let's dive in. The first step is to dream. Everything great starts with a dream. A dream is the spark that ignites your journey. It's the vision of what could be, the picture of the life you want to live, the goal that makes your heart race. Dreams are powerful because they give you a reason to get out of bed in the morning. They give you a purpose, a direction, a destination. But here's the thing about dreams. They don't work if you play small. You have to dare to dream big. You have to dare to imagine the impossible. I want you to think about your biggest dream right now. What is it? What's the one thing you more than anything? Maybe it's starting your own business, traveling the world, writing a book, or becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe it's building a better life for your family, making a difference in your community, or achieving something no one in your family ever has. Whatever it is, I want you to picture it in your mind. Picture it in vivid detail, the colors, the sounds, the feelings. How does it feel to live that dream? How does it feel to be that person? Now, let me tell you a story about a dreamer, a man named Walt Disney. Walt Disney grew up on a farm in Missouri, dreaming of creating stories that would bring joy to the world. As a young boy, he'd draw cartoons on the side of his family's barn, imagining a world where animals could talk and magic could come to life. But Walt's dream wasn't small. He didn't just want to draw cartoons. He wanted to build an empire of imagination. He wanted to create a place where dreams came true. That dream led him to create Mickey Mouse, to build Disneyland, to change the world of entertainment forever. But Walt's journey wasn't easy. He faced bankruptcy, rejection, and criticism. People told him his ideas were crazy, that a talking mouse would never work, that a theme park would fail. But Walt kept dreaming, he kept imagining, he kept believing. And because he dared to dream big, he conquered. Today, Disney is a global phenomenon, bringing magic to millions. All because one man dared to dream. Let's dive deeper into Walt's story, because there's so much we can learn from him. Imagine being Walt Disney in the 1920s, a young animator with nothing but a sketchbook and a dream. You move to Hollywood with $40 in your pocket, sleeping in a tiny office because you can't afford rent. You create a character named Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, only to have the rights stolen from you by a shady distributor. Most people would have given up. Most people would have said, "This dream is too big, I can't do this." But not Walt. He went back to the drawing board, created Mickey Mouse, and poured his heart into making him a star. That's the power of a dream. That's the power of daring to imagine the impossible. And that's where your journey begins. So I want you to ask yourself, are you dreaming big enough? Are you daring to imagine the impossible? Or are you playing small, letting fear or doubt shrink your dreams? Because here's the truth. The size of your dream determines the size of your life. If you dream small, you'll live small. But if you dream big, you'll live big. So dare to dream, dare to imagine a life that takes your breath away. Dare to believe that you were born for greatness. Because when you dream big, you set the stage for the next step, struggle. The second step is to struggle. Let's be real. No dream comes without a fight. The bigger your dream, the bigger the struggle. The path to greatness is not a straight line. It's a winding road filled with obstacles, setbacks, and challenges. But here's the secret that every conqueror knows. The struggle isn't your enemy. The struggle is your teacher. The struggle is what makes you stronger, wiser, better. The struggle is what prepares you to conquer. I want you to think about a time in your life when you struggled for something you really wanted. Maybe it was the time you worked 2 jobs to pay for school, staying up late to study even though you were exhausted. Maybe it was the time you trained for a marathon, pushing through the pain, the blisters, the moments when your body screamed for you to stop. Maybe it was the time you rebuilt your life after a loss, a job, a relationship, a loved one, finding the strength to keep going, even when you didn't think you could. Do you remember how it felt? Do you remember the sweat, the tears, the moments when you wanted to give up? And do you remember the feeling when you made it through? That feeling of resilience, of grit, of knowing that you're stronger than you thought. That's the power of the struggle. That's what prepares you to conquer. Da-dee-da. Let me tell you a story about someone who embraced the struggle. A woman named Oprah Winfrey. Oprah grew up in poverty in Mississippi, facing challenges most of us can't even imagine. She was born into a world that told her she didn't matter because of her race, her gender, her circumstances. She faced abuse, discrimination, and hardship from a young age. But Oprah had a dream. She wanted to tell stories, to connect with people, to make a difference, and she was willing to struggle for it. She started working in radio while she was still in high school, taking every opportunity she could to learn and grow. She faced rejection, setbacks, and criticism, but she never stopped. She kept pushing, kept fighting, kept struggling, and over time, that struggle paid off. Oprah became one of the most influential women in the world, building a media empire, inspiring millions and proving that the struggle is what makes you a conqueror. Let's dive deeper into Oprah's journey because there's so much we can learn from her. Imagine being Oprah Winfrey as a young girl, growing up in a house with no electricity, no running water, and a family that couldn't afford to give the opportunities most kids take for granted. Imagine facing abuse, running away from home at 14, and still daring to dream a dream of a better life. Imagine starting your career in a male-dominated industry where people told you didn't belong, where you were paid less, treated less, valued less. And yet Oprah kept going. She'd take every no as a challenge to prove herself. She'd take every setback as a chance to grow. She worked harder, smarter, longer than anyone else because she knew that the struggle was her path to greatness. And because of that struggle, she didn't just succeed, she conquered. That's what it means to embrace the fight. That's what prepares you to conquer. Now, I know the struggle isn't easy. It's not fun. There are days when you'll feel tired, frustrated, overwhelmed. There are days when you'll wonder if it's worth it. But I'm here to tell you it is. Every moment you struggle, every moment you push through the pain, you're getting stronger. You're building the resilience, the grit, the character you need to conquer. The struggle is like a fire. It burns away the things that don't serve you, and it forges you into the person you were always meant to be. So don't run from the struggle. Embrace it. Fight for your dream. Because the struggle is what leads you to the final step, conquer. The third step is to conquer. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the moment when you claim your victory. When you stand on the mountaintop of your dream and say, I did it. Conquering isn't just about achieving your goal. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's about looking back on your journey, the dream, the struggle, and knowing that every step, every fight, every tear was worth it. Conquering is about owning your power, your strength, your greatness. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine yourself living your dream. Imagine standing in the life you've always wanted, the business you've built, the book you've written, the family you've created, the difference you've made. Imagine the pride you'll feel, the joy you'll experience, the sense of accomplishment that will fill your heart. Now imagine looking back on your journey, the dream that started it all, the struggles you faced, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on but did anyway. How does that feel? That feeling's what it means to conquer. That's what it means to claim your victory. Let me tell you a story about someone who conquered a man named Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela had a dream of a free South Africa, a country where every person, regardless of race, could live with dignity and equality. But that dream came with a struggle. Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years for fighting against apartheid. 27 years in a tiny cell with nothing but a thin mat to sleep on, forced to break rocks in a quarry under the blazing sun. Most people would have given up. Most people would have let bitterness consume them. But not Mandela. He embraced the struggle. He used those years to grow stronger, to sharpen his mind, to deepen his resolve. And when he was finally released, he didn't emerge as a broken man. He emerged as a conqueror. He went on to become the president of South Africa, to heal a divided nation, to become a symbol of hope for the world. Why? Because Nelson Mandela dreamed, because he struggled, because he conquered. Let's dive deeper into Mandela's story, because there's so much we can learn from his journey. Imagine being Nelson Mandela in that prison cell, separated from your family, your friends, your freedom. Imagine the physical toll of hard labor, the emotional toll of isolation, the mental toll of knowing that your fight might never succeed. And yet, Mandela never lost hope. He'd write letters to his children, encouraging them to stay strong. He'd organize study groups with his fellow prisoners, teaching them to read and write. He'd hold on to his dream of a free South Africa, even when it seemed impossible. That's what it means to dream. That's what it means to struggle. And when Mandela walked out of that prison in 1990, after 27 years, he didn't just conquer for himself, he conquered for an entire nation. That's the power of this journey. That's what it means to claim your victory. I quote, "We've seen the power of this journey in my own life." A few years ago, I had a dream to become a motivational speaker. I wanted to inspire people, to help them believe in themselves, to show them what's possible. I wanted to inspire people, to help them believe in themselves, to show them what's possible. But that dream came with a struggle. I didn't have the experience, the confidence, or the platform to make it happen. I'd practice speaking in front of a mirror, only to cringe at my own voice. I'd reach out to event organizers only to hear no over and over again. There were days when I felt like giving up, days when I thought, maybe this isn't for me. But I kept dreaming. I kept struggling. I'd practice every day, even when I didn't feel like it. I'd push through the rejection, the fear, the self-doubt. And slowly, but surely, I started to conquer. I booked my first speaking gig, then my second, then my third. Today, I'm standing here speaking to all of you because I dreamed, I struggled, and I conquered. Let me take you deeper into my story because I want you to feel what this journey is really like. When I started, I was terrified. I'd stand in front of that mirror, my hands shaking, my voice trembling, thinking, who am I to do this? I'm not good enough. I'd send emails to event organizers, pouring my heart into every word, only to get no response, or worse, a polite rejection. I'd watch other speakers on YouTube, people who seemed so confident, so polished, and I'd think, I'll never be that good. But every time I wanted to quit, I'd go back to my dream. I'd picture myself on a stage, speaking to a room full of people, inspiring them, changing their lives. That dream kept me going. And every time I struggled, every rejection, every mistake, every moment of doubt, I'd tell myself, this is making me stronger. This is preparing me to conquer. And when I finally booked my first gig, when I finally stood on that stage and saw the audience clapping, I knew I had conquered. That's the power of this journey. That's what it means to dream, struggle, and conquer, Doc. So how do you follow this journey? How dream, struggle, and conquer. So how do you follow this journey? How do you dream, struggle, and conquer? Let me give you 3 practical steps to help you get started. Step 1, dream with clarity. Your dream needs to be specific. You can't chase something if you don't know what it looks like. So take some time to get clear on your dream. What do you want? What does success look like for you? Write it down. Picture it in your mind. Make it real. And then dare to dream big. Don't hold back, because when you have a clear, bold dream, you give yourself something worth fighting for. Step 2, embrace the struggle with gratitude. The struggle isn't here to break you, it's here to build you. So the next time you face a challenge, don't run from it, embrace it, be grateful for it. Tell yourself, this struggle is making me stronger. This struggle is preparing me to conquer. And then keep going, keep fighting, keep pushing, because the struggle is what makes the victory so sweet. Step 3, celebrate your conquests, big and small. Conquering isn't just about the big wins, it's about the small victories along the way. So celebrate every step, every milestone, every moment of progress. Did you take a step toward your dream today? That's a win. Did you push through a struggle this week? That's a win. Did you refuse to give up, even though it was hard? That's a win. Celebrate those moments, because when you celebrate your conquests, you fuel your fire. You remind yourself that you're on the right path. You remind yourself that you were born to conquer. Let me tell you about a woman I met named Aisha, a single mother from Delhi. Aisha had a dream of becoming a doctor, but life kept throwing struggles her way. She was raising 2 kids on her own, working as a maid to make ends meet, with no time or money to study. But Aisha dared to dream. She'd picture herself in a white coat, helping patients, saving lives. That dream kept her going. She embraced the struggle. She'd study at night after kids went to bed, even if it meant getting only a few hours of sleep. She'd save every rupee she could, take free online courses, and apply for scholarships, even when the odds were against her. There were days when she wanted to give up, days when she'd look at her tired hands and think, this is never going to happen. But Aisha kept going. She kept dreaming. She kept struggling. And after years of hard work, Aisha conquered. She got accepted into medical school, and today she's on her way to becoming a doctor. Why? Because she dreamed, because she struggled, because she conquered. I want you to imagine something with me. Imagine a life where you've dreamed big, struggled hard, and conquered everything. Imagine standing in the life you've always wanted, the dream you dared to imagine, the struggles you fought through, the victories you claimed. Imagine the person you'll become, the confidence you'll have, the strength you'll feel, the legacy you'll leave behind. Imagine looking back on your journey and saying, I dreamed, I struggled, I conquered, and it was worth it. That life is not a fantasy. That life is yours for the taking. All you have to do is follow this journey. Let's take a moment to reflect. I want you to close your eyes for a second and think about your dream. What is it? What's the one thing you want to conquer? Picture that dream in your mind. Now picture the struggles you'll face, the challenges, the setback, the moments when you'll want to give up. And now picture yourself pushing through those struggles one by one with a fire in your heart that says, I'm not done yet. Picture yourself conquering, claiming your victory, standing in your dream, owning your greatness. How does that feel? That feeling, that's the power of this journey. That's the power of dreaming, struggling, and conquering. So today, I'm asking you to make a commitment to yourself, to your dreams, to the life you want to live. Commit to dreaming big, no matter how impossible it seems. Commit to struggling hard, no matter how tough it gets. Commit to conquering everything, no matter how long it takes. Because I promise you, this journey will lead you to greatness. This journey will make you unstoppable. This journey will make you a conqueror. The world is waiting for you. Your dreams are waiting for you. The victories you were born to claim are waiting for you. So go out there, dream, struggle, conquer, and watch how you become everything you were always meant to be. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Success Mindset.